I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first six are very much mine and my philosophy.
There's a Star Wars live action series coming, and I've got a strong suspicion that George will have something to do with that.
Maybe I'm building my working from George, so he has all the keys anyway. I can't. He can come right in. I'll tell you, whatever he would come up with would be different. He was always the most surprising in what he would do and how he would push things.
Rumors are swirling that George Lucas could be making a comeback to the Star Wars universe, and if true, he's already making waves. Speculation suggests his first big move might be parting ways with the Acolyte's director, a decision that has sparked excitement and curiosity among fans and industry insiders. Alike longtime followers of the franchise have voiced concerns that Star Wars has strayed from its original storytelling under Disney. Many believe the franchise has lost its signature magic. If Lucas is truly stepping back in, could this be a sign that the saga will return to its legendary roots? Whispers suggest that there were major reasons behind this bold move regarding the Acolyte. Did something about the show's direction clash with Lucas's vision? And more importantly, what could this shakeup mean for the future of the beloved galaxy far, far away?
I'm doing this so that the films will have a longer life, and so that more fans and people can enjoy them in the future. It's a very big universe I've created, and there's a lot of stories that are sitting in there.
The main thing is to protect these characters, make sure that they still continue to live in the way that you created them. There you go.
Some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people. You run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? It's happened through history forever.
In a stunning move that has shocked Hollywood and thrilled Star Wars fans worldwide, George Lucas is officially back as head of Lucasfilm, replacing longtime president Kathleen Kennedy. This shift signals Disney's plan to restore the franchise's former glory after years of controversial decisions and declining fan support. Why replace Kathleen Kennedy? While she led projects like The Force Awakens and The Mandalorian, backlash over the sequel trilogy and Disney Plus shows, particularly The Acolyte, painted a picture of a franchise losing its identity. Fans argued that the studio prioritized messaging over compelling storytelling under pressure from investors. Disney saw Lucas as the best choice to restore credibility. His deep understanding of Star Wars and reputation as a visionary storyteller made him the natural pick. Insiders suggest internal conflicts and declining merchandise sales played a big role in Kennedy's departure. Can Lucas turn things around?
It happens now, and it happens in streaming probably more than features, but features the same thing. Nobody knows what to do. The stories they're telling are just old movies. Let's do a sequel. Let's do another version of this movie. There's no, and it's not just in movies, but in almost everything. There's no original thinking. Those big studios, they don't want that. They want something that is like something they've seen. Because they don't have an imagination to come up with, to see something that isn't there. I got Star Wars done mainly because at the same time I was writing the script, I hired an artist to draw pictures of what I was doing because I knew I couldn't describe what it was. It was impossible. But when you see the pictures, you say, oh, I get it. And that was really what made the movie, what sold it.
I was interested in doing a film that could affect kids, and I'd studied mythology and everything, and I decided I'm going to make a modern myth. I disliked the business of Hollywood intensely. When I had that choice of Star Wars being a success, I said, I'm going to try to make a go for it. And so I invested in the next movie and borrowed money from a bank and everything. I had everything at stake. I did it primarily because I didn't want the studios to tell me what to do. I didn't want them coming and commenting on my work and putting their little ideas in there. And because I needed to make sure I controlled the vision and not have it be diluted by a lot of other people.
The last that we had heard about Kathleen Kennedy being removed as the president of Lucasfilm was that she's going to be having some contract negotiations, and she wasn't going to be seeking to actually renew or get an extension on that contract, which in itself should be a joyous occasion for everyone. But now, according to the scooper WDW Pro, we have some more information of a potential timeline that her announcement of her retirement and stepping down could come as soon as this October.
One of George Lucas's first major moves after returning as head of Lucasfilm was firing Leslie Headland, director and showrunner of The Acolyte. This decision was seen as necessary to prevent further damage to the Star Wars brand, which many fans believe lost its way under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. Kennedy's tenure was filled with controversial choices that placed politics at the forefront, sidelining the adventure and mythic qualities that defined Lucas's original films. While diversity and representation were emphasized, critics argued this came at the cost of well-developed storytelling. Lucas remained silent for years, but behind the scenes, he was displeased with the franchise's direction. The Acolyte, initially promoted as groundbreaking, became a lightning rod for criticism. Hedlund's push to move Star Wars beyond Lucas' influence alienated many fans. Now, Lucas is taking control to restore the franchise's integrity.
Kathleen Kennedy has done a decent job with Star Wars. You agree?
No, I don't agree.
The ultimate job of being the CEO
Yes.
is to build the brand,
Yes.
build excitement, recruit talent, and to keep them.
Yes.
What has she done a terrible job of?
The backlash to Star Wars Acolyte Episode 3 has been intense, and now the Rotten Tomatoes user score is lower than even the much maligned Star Wars The Holiday Special. That and the fact that the ratings for this debut were 3 million short of Ahsoka, you would think that Lucasfilm might take this as a warning sign that things need to change.
Disney has this really bad habit of just not letting things go.
He's kind of been involved, though, with like anything to do with Dave Filoni. Dave always brings
Sure.
him in as a...
Yeah.
There are three indispensable people without whom none of us would be here tonight, and that starts with the person who created Indiana Jones, George Lucas. The person who is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. And the person whose is the glue to all five of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
The backlash against the Acolyte was swift and severe. Early promotional material sparked skepticism, while leaks suggesting major changes to Jedi history outraged fans. Social media erupted, with many accusing Lucasfilm of abandoning core mythology for political messaging. Anticipation plummeted, and analysts predicted the series would struggle to find an audience. Disney executives, under pressure from investors, saw the franchise slipping. Lucas, upon returning, wasted no time addressing these concerns. Reports suggest he was deeply disappointed with the Acolyte's direction, viewing it as proof of why Star Wars lost its way. Insiders claim he was frustrated with how the show departed from the mythological elements. He spent decades crafting. Lucas's decision to fire Hedlund wasn't just about one show. It was a statement. Star Wars needed to return to its roots. Many fans now hope that with Lucas back, the franchise can recapture its lost magic and reclaim its status as a storytelling powerhouse.
Disney has literally become the incarnate form of insanity, continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. They continue to put out woke crap, they continue to put out terrible stories, pathetic characters, and yet they continue to expect us to eat it up, to completely just consume it without a single question.
Taking this young kid that doesn't know anything and this boisterous, I know everything guy who can't do anything, and trying to save the rebellion with these clowns. I said, she's the hero of the movie. And it's the same thing with Queen Amidala. Even though she has Jedi on her side, she was still the hero prime mover. And they go, well, but there's no women there. I said, you can't just put a woman in pants and expect her to be a hero. You know, they can wear dresses, they can wear whatever they want. It's their brains and their ability to think and plan. I had made a decision to move ahead on the next Star Wars series, and we were starting to do that.
So you were starting to make the next Star Wars?
Yeah.
You as director, filmmaker.
So, and we were working with a writer. It wasn't quite working out, but I was also, I was also stepping away a little bit and turning things over to Kathleen Kennedy. And so, what happened was Disney said, gee, or Bob Iger said, gee, if you really want to sell your company, if you're thinking about selling it, because we were talking about retirement and what are you going to do after all this kind of stuff. And he said, well, if you really want to sell it, we're very interested. So that started that ball rolling. And I knew from, and I had the story treatments or, outlines, and we were working on scripts. And so I sold it. But I knew when I sold it, I said, I've tried to make movies where I step away to sort of Empire and Return of the Jedi. Right. And after about a couple of weeks, I knew I couldn't do that. I had to stand over the shoulder of the director, help him, whisper in his ear constantly, do this, do that,
There is growing speculation that Lucas will reunite with key creatives from the original trilogy, writers, designers, and even cast members who helped shape the Star Wars universe. By doing so, he hopes to rebuild trust with fans and recapture the magic that made the franchise a cultural phenomenon. Lucas aims to shift the focus back to character-driven stories that feel organically connected to the saga's overarching themes. Fans want to return to narratives that expand the universe meaningfully rather than standalone pieces that feel disconnected from the larger story. The difference between Lucas's original vision and Disney's approach is striking. Lucas built Star Wars around groundbreaking storytelling and technology, introducing rich lore and iconic characters. Under Disney, the franchise took a more corporate-driven approach, prioritizing rapid content production. Now, Lucas is determined to reverse course and put creativity first.
Acting is bad. Even the special effects have gotten worse over time somehow. Star Wars has been bad for longer than I've been alive. And now it's hopelessly woke on top of it. The whole franchise is owned by feminists and left-wing activists, people who hate the audience and hate the material that they've been entrusted with. There's no conceivable incentive for anyone to watch any Star Wars content again. I'm not even asking you to boycott Star. I'm not saying boycott. I'm just saying, why? Just don't. There's nothing enjoyable about this. Stop doing it. Every new Star Wars show should have an audience of 0. Every new Star Wars film should make $0 at the box office. Have some self-respect.
Lucas' return signals a shift from corporate mandates to creative integrity. He understands that Star Wars isn't just a franchise. It's a cultural touchstone deserving of respect and careful stewardship. With him back at the helm, all eyes are on Lucasfilm's future. Reports suggest Lucas is reviewing all current and upcoming projects to ensure they align with his vision. The Acolyte is being reassessed, with possible reshoots and revisions on the table to bring it more in line with classic Star Wars themes. Speculation is growing that Lucas may greenlight a new trilogy to serve as a fresh start for the franchise. Rumors hint that Pedro Pascal could play a key role in this new era, with Lucas teasing fans by saying, "This is the way." His focus will be on expanding the universe while staying true to its core themes. While some remain skeptical, his return has reignited hope that Star Wars can once again be the epic saga fans love. Can Lucas restore the magic